Hello lovely people, welcome back to the Extreme Wise Predictions channel. In this video, it is called our Answer Monday, where I get to answer viewers' questions that are posted under our videos. If you want your questions to be answered, kindly post them under the comment section of this video, and your question may be featured in our next Answer Monday video. If you're new to the channel, kindly like, subscribe, and also don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you can get notified when I post similar videos like this. And also don't forget to share this content to your friends and family that may like contents like this. If you want to join channel membership, you can look at the link under the video description and you can be able to join the channel members. If you want to contribute to what I do, look for the thanks under the video and you can be able to donate something to the channel as well. Let's get into the video. So our first question says that poll indicates a tight race in the Chilean election. Which candidates have advanced to the second round? I think most of the candidates will actually advance to the second round. And then I also see that there's not going to be any winner for the Sunday elections elections. The winner I will see for a race is the one that they are going to actually be doing in December. That is what I'm picking up, that the one that they were going to be doing for December is the one I'm seeing for that. And then the candidates, I think JJ is the one that is actually ringing. I'm having a ring of JJ in those the ones that are actually prominent people. I think maybe the other elections brought them their names up, but that's why I didn't want to make any predictions in that regards, because it's going to influence what I'm going to be saying. So I think the JJ ones is the ones that are prominent, and then the ones that will be going into the December elections. Let's move on to the next question. Next question says that in France, do you see any serious earthquake in the coming years or in the coming decade? If so, would the Pyrenees area be hit most? So my short answer is yes. I see a lot of earthquakes in France, especially the Pyrenees, and I even see earthquake actually happening, I think, even now in the area as I speak, something like that. I'm picking that right, but it's not that serious right now. And eventually, these earthquakes that are going to be coming is going to actually intensify in the near future. So that's what I see for France in that regards. Let's move on to the next question. Next question says that I have a question with regards, I think, Australian politics. Will the minor political parties, in particular One Nation, be in a better position to govern, and will the coalition be in government at our next election? With the one party, I don't see them in a better position actually to govern. I believe, they need to work and get a lot of people to join them and set a full team for governance, because to govern, and it's not only one person, at power makes governing become successful. You will need multiple people to work under you to make it very successful. So I see that they will need to actually work on, getting a lot of people together so that they can be able to govern correctly. Is very important in that regard. So that's what I see. But for next election, let's wait till the next election is almost due, and then I can be able to predict about who will win the next election. Let's move on to the next question. Next question says, will the current Congress approve a constitutional amendment for term limits? If so, what is the probability? So, no, I don't see the Congress approving any term limit, but there will be an attempt. I think there will be an attempt. But before that, I even see, something coming up in terms of Trump. As I was saying this, I'm seeing something coming up in terms of Trump, that I think there will be a scandal for Trump in relation to, let's say, like an intimacy video that there will be no proof to, some allegations were in regarding that kind of a thing. I see something like that actually popping up for Trump, but with the election thing, I don't see that there will be any approval for that because they will not come together to actually approve that. That's what I'm picking up in that regards. I may be wrong, but since I'm doing it live, that is what I'm actually picking up at the moment. Let's move on to the next question. Next question says that, yes, I'm primarily wondering if the turmoil in Tanzania will spread to Kenya and Ethiopia. So my answer is going to be yes. It's going to actually spread, but I think it's already spreading. That's what I'm picking up. That it's already spreading there, but it is not like a serious issue at the moment. I don't see that as a serious issue at the moment, but I see it's going to be spreading there, and it has already started spreading there already. And few months to come is going to be very, very, very intense in that regards, and it's going to cause a lot of issues and some issues or some problems in those countries like Kenya, and then I think you mentioned the other one as Ethiopia. Yeah, it's going to cause some significant issues at this moment. But at this moment, it has already started there, but it's not intensified yet. Let's move on to the next question. Next question says that, will there be a regime change in Venezuela? So let me check in Venezuela. In Venezuela, will there be a change? I'm picking up that Venezuela already had their elections. That's what I'm picking up, that they already have their elections. So let's wait until the next elections. And I think that their next elections is being held, I think 5 or 6 years, something like that. I'm picking that number 5 or 6, not coming up well, but it's looking like 5 or 6 years. That's the feeling I'm having for Venezuela in that regard. So when it gets to that time, we can be able to make a prediction if there's going to be a change or not. Let's move on to the next question. So next question says that, so what do you see for Greece after the International Monetary Fund bailout money is used up? Will we ever rebound? So I don't think that there's, the monetary value money has actually been used up. And I'm feeling that, I think the country's Greece is already recovering. They are already on their way of recovery. I don't think that the monetary, fund has already been used up. If there is something like that going on, then those news are fake. It has never been used up. They don't have it all used up. I think they have already rather secured what we call being able to pay it off, and they are rather in a good position to get more loans if they want. That is what I'm picking up in that regards for Greece. So that is how it is. But their economy actually is actually recovering. And if they are on the track with the plans that they have at stake right now, I see them actually recovering and bouncing back very strong in terms of Greece. That is what I see for Greece at the moment. Let's move on to the next one. The next one says that government shutdown. Will it end? Yes, government shutdown is going to end. For the when, I already made a prediction that mid to end of November is when it's going to actually end for the government shutdown. So let's look at mid to the end of November. That's where I see. When I say it will end, doesn't mean that, that means that the actual elections that will make it end will be holding on to that time, and then it will take effect, because when after they vote, they have to, it takes some process for them to actually get everything into place. So that's what I see for that election. Let's move on to the next question. It says that when will the cost of living drop in the US? So I don't see the cost of living actually dropping in the US at the moment. What I see is that it will actually rather go up and higher. The cost of living will go higher and higher in the United States. This will become worse for poor people or those who are below average because the systems that are being put in place is actually for the rich. So it will be very beneficial if we can make use of some of the tax things that we see around, like living in states where they don't have state tax and stuff like that, and beneficial to you. You see, when I told people about AI will be the antichrist and take over our jobs, a lot of people did not believe that. But now, as it is unfolding, a lot of people are actually saying it at this moment. So I don't know. But that's how what I see. The cost of living will keep going up and up and up, and it's not going to come down. Let's move on to the next question. Next question says, it's about Germany being made to feel shame of being German because of the two world wars. Oh, okay. So with that, I think the question was in regards to will Germany bounce back or take back their stuff? Yeah. So I feel that in Germany will feel German again. They will soon realize that what they did in the past has nothing to do with shame, or nothing for them to be ashamed of. And I see that people in Germany will feel proud to wave their flags again, and based on the fact that a lot of things will actually be happening where Germany will have to actually move forward. So that's what I see happening in terms of Germany, and I see them actually moving forward in that regards, and then they're picking up their mantle again as Germans at the moment. Let's move on to the next question. Next question says that will Xi Jinping or Nicholas step down soon? So the Chinese president Xi Jinping will rather be replaced. That is something a prediction I have made earlier on already. They will rather be replaced instead of like stepping down, or you can call it stepping down anyways. That is what I see happening. And like I was predicting in that prediction that there will be like a leadership change in China. That's what I see for them in terms of China. But with Nicholas, I don't see Nicholas stepping down, not today or not tomorrow. And I think in his destiny, he's actually destined to be um, in that position for a while. That is what his destiny is on that regard. So I don't see any of them, him stepping down at this moment. I don't see that happening. Let's move on to the next question. Next question says that what will happen between the trade conflict between China and the US in a short future? Okay, so the trade thing, I think I already made this prediction that the trade agreement, as I predicted, it will bring like peace between the two countries, a little bit of peace in terms of trade wars. And I think certain things are happening behind the scenes, like a certain deal is actually happening behind the scenes that we are talking right now, behind the scenes. I think that the trade deal that they had, a little trade deal that they had, will cool things down while we enter into 2026, where things are going to escalate further. But for right now, is to bring peace, and other countries who are having trade deals, you see them having like settling down or coming into an agreement on how they can work in terms of that, in terms of their trade deal. I think that was the question for that. Let's move on to the next question. The next question says that what will happen between Canada and then the US trade conflict? So with Canada and the US, I think that they will come into an agreement. Canada and US will come into an agreement on their trade deal. Like I said, that the trade deal between China and US will work things out, and it will make other countries ease up on their trade deals and stuff. So I think Canada will come to the table and talk to the US, and then the US will actually agree on something with them. There will be something that is going to be agreed on that regards. And I told you guys that in the future time, Canada will become part of the US. That is a future prediction. But here's a case that the two countries will come together, and then they will settle something actually down at this point. But right now, there's going to be there's going to be talks into settling things down. Like I said, the leadership of China and then the US coming together and having like a trade agreement will ease other countries also knowing that we can actually come together and work together. That's what I see for that one. Let's move on to the next question. Next question says, will Chen Zhi be arrested shortly by the US and then the UK government? Where is he hiding? So first of all, I cannot, do where he's hiding on my platform. I cannot do that. I don't want to be a target. But I would say yes. He's going to be arrested. How soon? I cannot predict those things at this moment when it comes to someone's personal life. So I cannot predict that. And then I would say yes, he's going to be arrested. He's going to be found out. And I think everybody knows that already. So it's not really a prediction. So let's move on to the next question. Next question says that, is the Ark of the Covenant located in Ethiopia? So with that question, yes. For me, I believe strongly the Ark of the Covenant is located in Ethiopia, because there was a time that I was trying to vibrate on the secret things that are actually, hidden apart, or those things that we see in books and these powerful books and stuff. And I had the feeling, or I vibrated, that the Ark of the Covenant is in Ethiopia. And then I also had a feeling there's something also hidden in Ethiopia that is not in history books. So I can't say it. Even if I say it, you may not believe it. So there's no need actually saying it. So that's what I picked up in that regards for the Ark of the Covenant. So that is what it is in terms of that. The Ark of the Covenant is in Ethiopia as we speak. I think it's very guided or something like that in that regards. And it's more of just like, I don't want to go there, but that's that the pyramid, the Great Pyramids beneath. There is some vibration over there. So the Ark of the Covenant also have that kind of vibration that when you stay, long around it, you get blindfolded because of the rays in it. So that is it. That is kind of the power that they hold in those ancient times. Let's move on to the next question. He said, do you see Prime Minister Netanyahu stepping down? If so, when? So no, Netanyahu won't step down. I think his destiny is that he will actually pass away at the top. So that's what his destiny actually says. So I don't see him stepping down unless maybe he has gone in and he has changed his destiny. Do you know people can actually change their destinies? So I think maybe unless he has gone and changed his destiny and he wants to live longer than his scheduled time on earth, that is what I'm actually picking up. So he will still be at the top unless he's being taken down, but he will not come down willingly. I don't see that happening at all. Let's move on to the last question of the day. The last question says that, will the Canadian Liberal Party be eliminated and the Canadian economy will recover? So the Liberal Party is not going anywhere. I don't see them going anywhere at this moment. I see that the Canadian economy will start to actually recover. I think I made this prediction already. When they shifted their mind on oil, I see that their country will start to recover. But when they don't shift their mind on oil, the country will still sink and sink and sink. And then, guys, it's not because maybe the leader in power is not doing anything. This is on the top to the top to the top, right? This thing is happening in every country, where every country is actually suffering globally. There's no one country that you would say that they have, kind of economic growth that is actually going up and up and up. Everybody is actually suffering economically. So it has nothing to do with a current leader. It is a global stuff, and that is happening, and we cannot do anything against it. One person cannot fight against millions. That's what it is. So there are people that are in control of these things that are happening, and they have not let it go yet, but they will eventually let it go. But it is not at this very, very moment. I don't see that happening at this very moment. I think that there was somebody who has a question about the current virus or pandemic or something like that. And the person says something in terms of they have shifted it to the 20s or something in that regard. So the pandemic, what is happening right now is that they have changed their mind on the pandemic, not because they have moved it forward or move it backwards. No, not that's not the reason why. The reason we have right now is that they are rather vaccinating the animals we are eating at this moment, right? Instead of bringing a pandemic and then vaccinate us, because a lot of awareness has come into the notion that a pandemic is coming and don't take the vaccination. So a lot of people are alert about that. So what step they are taking is that they have actually started vaccinating the animals that we actually consume to get the thing in our systems already. So no pandemic, but rather vaccination has already started unknowingly, right? So if you want to try this, right, don't say anything. Just have your phone close to you or hold your phone in your hands and think about something. Think about a video. Think about a topic. Think about something, right? Don't ever say, don't ever share it to anybody, but think about it. Give yourself 3 days. Your phone will reveal the thing that you thought about to you. So maybe think about maybe how can I make it in life? You'll think about that. Give yourself 3 days. You'll be seeing videos of how you can make it in life. This shows that what I'm telling you has already started. It is very, very quite unfortunate. So that is it for today's Answer Monday. Guys, if you want your questions to be answered, kindly put them down in the comment section of this video, and your question may be featured in our next Answer Monday video. Thank you guys for watching, and kindly hype this video.